In continuation of the previous session, today I would like to cover managed code versus unmanaged code, namespace, side-by-side versioning, garbage collection, and DLL help problem. Managed code. The code which is to be executed by CLR is called managed code. This managed code contains the CLR services such as types checking, security checking, and automatic garbage collection, thread management, and exception handling. This CLR service help to provide the platform and language independence to the managed code applications. So in the case of managed code, the source code is given to the CLR, right? So after compilation process, the output of this source code is managed code. Okay, and this managed code is given to the security manager for checking the security. And if the code is secure, more secure, then it is to be compiled by the JIT compiler, right? And this MSIL code is converted into the native code. On other hand, the unmanaged code is an application. Unmanaged code, it is not running by the CLR, right? So indirectly it is not getting the services of CLR. Unmanaged code is not secure. Okay, so for the unmanaged code, the compiler compiles the source code into the machine code, right? And it is to be executed only where it has been compiled. So in summary, we can say that the comparison between the managed code and unmanaged code. The code managed code, a code which is executed by the CLR is called as a managed, and unmanaged code is not executed by CLR. Managed code is getting the services of the CLR, just like garbage collection, type checking, exception handling, thread mechanism, and other services also. And while in this case of unmanaged, it does not having any kind of services. Managed codes are more secure than the unmanaged code. Then the output of this managed code, the compilation process, during the compilation process, it converts the source code into the MSIL code, while in the case of unmanaged code, the code is compiled into the native code only. Next, the namespace. Namespace is nothing but the collection of logical related classes, identifiers, and respective types. It is nothing but the collection of related classes, just like we are managing the directories, right? We are managing the files into the respective directories. We are managing the classes into the namespace. We have the classes in .NET. They are organized in the system namespace. Let us see how to create the namespace. In .NET framework, we are creating the application using C# language, right? So this is the basic building of namespace. Here the outermost block is namespace. Inside this namespace, we are having different related classes. Okay, so how do we create the namespace? Using namespace keyword and followed by the namespace. Here we have a class student and another class subject. Once the namespace is created, we can use this namespace in other application by using keyword. Using keyword, then followed by the namespace. Okay, so we have created college namespace and we are using in this application. Okay, so next one, how can we give another name for the existing one namespace? Using the alias, right? So using keyword, this is the new name of the namespace and this is the existing namespace. Okay, so as we have seen earlier, there was a system namespace. We can give another name to this system by using s is equal to system, right? So wherever the system appears, we can use this alias name. Okay, we have inbuilt namespace in .NET framework such as system.data. Using this namespace, we can create the dynamic application which can interact with the database. Another namespace is the system.drawing, right? So wherever we would like to have some such kind of drawing facility, all the classes, related classes are there in system.drawing namespace. Apart from this, we have system.io namespace to deal with the files. System.net namespace whenever we would like to create the networking application. System.security namespace to provide the security in your application. System.web namespace basically used for the dynamic web application. And system.xml namespace is used for creating the XML based web services and for storing the data in XML format. Now, one of the more important concept that we would like to cover, that is the garbage collection. Garbage collection is a mechanism for releasing the unused objects from the memory, right? So there is a garbage collector component in CLR which is releasing these objects which are not more used, right? So whenever we are writing a code in your application, in our application using a new keyword, it allocates the memory, but sometimes it feels that these memories are all occupied by the objects, but these objects are not referenced by any of the reference. So those objects are unnecessary occupying the memories. It will be deallocated by the garbage collector. Side by side versioning and execution. It is ability to store and execute the multiple version of application and component on the same computer. We can have multiple versions of runtime, as well as we can have a multiple application running on multiple version on the same computer on same time. Now let us look at the DLL HAL problem. Earlier we prior to introducing .NET, the developer were suffering this DLL HAL problem. What is that? The DLL HAL refers to the set of problem which are caused when multiple applications try to share common component or instance, a DLL file or a COM classes. Suppose you install an application on your system, the application automatically updates new version of share component that is not backward compatible with the version already on the machine. Although your new application that has just been installed works well, but existing application that dependent on the previous version of the shared component might no longer work. This is because the version information of the different component of an application is not recorded by the system. Therefore, the changes made by the application on the system affect other application also. To end the problem of DLL HAL, the Microsoft HAL has introduced .NET along the concept of a run once and run forever. This means that if .NET application is installed and works, then it will work forever regardless of the what other application including .NET as well as non-.NET applications are installed on your system, right? So I hope you understood this concept. Thank you so much.